You are watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The Biden-Harris administration has always made it clear that renewing democracy in the United States and around the world is essential to meeting the unprecedented challenges of the time. On Thursday and Friday last week, President Joe Biden held the first of two summits for democracy. It brought together leaders from government, civil society, and the private sector in a shared effort to set forth an agenda for democratic renewal and to tackle the threats faced by democracies today. But the event has attracted criticism from some at home and abroad.
The National Interest magazine has published an article titled, "How to Run a Democracy Summit When Your Own Democracy is Dying" into December. The article has cited democratic standards should apply to everyone and are not just a vocabulary that the powerful use to lecture the weak. 5 days later, the Foreign Policy magazine has asked the question, what Biden's Democracy Summit is missing, and answered later in the article that this summit lacked the real people power. More directly, a Mexican journalist, Julio Cesar Garcia of Canal 6 TV, has pointed out the Summit of Democracy is just another farce. Garcia says that the real purpose of the so-called Summit for Democracy is to use democracy as a tool for world secession. He has added that the U.S. wants to maintain its position as the leader of its democratic world by the summit. However, it is not qualified to be the leader for democracy. The Mexican journalist has also stressed that acts back in the U.S. go against the spirit of democracy. He has said this again, proves the summit brings no good to the common interests of the international community, but is another farce created by the U.S. to seek its own political interests. The U.S.-led Summit for Democracy was held virtually on Thursday and Friday without the participation of countries including China and Russia. Just as the summit was being held on the second day, activists have gathered outside of the United Nations headquarters in New York City to stage a protest, expressing their dissatisfaction with the chaotic status quo of democracy in the country.